I will develop the following points, the issues relative to the bond cements, and formulations and characterizations, and then results and conclusion. First, the bond cements. Our basic concern is about bond defects, fractures, tumors, and osteoporosis. This is an important challenge to society. And to heal these bone defects, surgeons may use natural materials or synthetic materials. Synthetic materials have the advantages of being available in limited quantity and have a perfectly controlled composition. Therefore, they have a little rejection and a little contamination. So we decided to work on injectable acrylic bond cements. These materials can harden in situ after injection into the defect. So we worked to develop a formulation of a cement based HMA hydrogel. This supplemented with a bioactive filler. This material has the advantages, in contrast to PMMA, to moisturize and to biodegrade. Cement formulations studied and characterizations performed are the following. Our cement is generally composed with a liquid and a solid phase, and the solid-liquid ratio is 60-40. In our case, the liquid phase and the solid phase are composed as shown. DMT and HMA for the liquid phase, BPO, cornstarch, cellulose acetate, and a filler for the solid phase. DMT and BPO are respectively the initiator and accelerator required to the polymerization of HMA, and cornstarch enhances the cement biodegradability, and the filler form many fibers to reinforce mechanically the cement. The first option is the choice of the filler. We have chosen the calcium phosphate, the TCP, and calcium sulfate amide, the plaster. A filler is incorporated in the cement to improve the cement osteoconductivity and to reinforce mechanically the cement. Moreover, each of them has advantages such as biocompatibility and bioresorbability. The second option is to add water in the formulation. We have added water necessary to allow plaster curing, and so in this case the solid-liquid ratio becomes 55-45. Finally, we work on for formulation without water or with water, for TCP filler or for plaster filler. To characterize our formulations, we determine the curing parameters with maximum temperature and setting time, the water uptake with immersion in the SBF, the tensile properties. For tensile test, we use different samples, wet samples and dry samples. And the wet samples are samples that have been immersed in a biological fluid, SBF, for 3 weeks. Of course, it separates from the idea of incorporating water in the formulation. So, the results and conclusion. So, we see the result for formulation, TCP, plaster, TCP with water and plaster with water. So test showed a decrease in the maximum temperature and an increase in the setting time for formulation containing water. Thus, this formulation with water allows us to be just under the tissue necrosis temperature, 47 degrees. This is more interesting than than current commercial cements. In addition, the increase in the setting time allow a longer working time for surgeons. The study of water uptake, it showed that the evolution is the same between formulation without water and with water. The only difference is the percentage of water uptake, 25% and 33%. This is due to the water already found in some formulation, this one. So, moreover, we notice that the water uptake is fast. 85% of the maximum is reached in less than a day. So, getting a high water uptake is an important advantage for the behavior of the cements in the bone defect. This allows us to fill all of the defect and prevents the development of fibrous tissue. PMMA cements do not have these properties because its tendency to shrink. Tensile curves show the result for dry samples and for wet samples. Scale difference between the both vertical axes, with MPa here, shows that the tensile curves for the wet samples have much lower mechanical tensile properties. Therefore, wet samples are more important because they better represent the condition during the cement implantation in the body. The four formulations, TCP, plaster, TCP with water, and plaster, have been tested on wet sample to determine the Young tensile modulus and the maximal tensile strength. So we find without ambiguities that the formulation containing plaster and water has the best mechanical tensile properties. So there is a positive impact of plaster contribution with or without water, and this is enhanced by addition of water. To conclude, the advantage of HEMA is significant compared to commercial current cements. Adding water in the formulations improves the curing parameters, the setting time increases, and maximal temperature decreases. Therefore, the cement is easier to use by surgeons. Adding plaster leads to better mechanical properties in situ, therefore in wet conditions. And adding water further improves these properties. So to continue our work, we propose two directions to improve the study with mechanical tests, for example, compression tests, and biological tests in vitro, and to improve the formulation by combining plaster and TCP to take advantage of both fillers, and incorporating an antibiotic in the water. So I thank you for your attention.
Other questions? Yeah. What kind of biological assays are you planning?
We think to test the cement to see if there is no toxic, because we incorporate BPO and DMT to polymerize the HEMA, so we need to be sure that there is not toxic for the cells. So but I'm not specialist in biological tests.
Okay. Another question? Oh, okay. So will you then give the biological testing to another?
Yes. We work with other laboratory to do this test. Yes.
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you very much for your lecture, and I wish you good collaboration with the people and with the cell department. And this is your test.
Thank you.
Your certificate. Now we will have Ayşe Arslan, I hope I pronounced this right. Okay, thanks, from the Hacettepe University in Turkey. She has